Hi and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 6. We'll be presenting our ELT oral critique on communicative approach. So Group 6 consists of Elly, Asfadalila Binti Shahrom, Farha, Liyana Binti Muhammad Pahimi, and also Nabilah Binti Haron. First and foremost, communicative approach is a teaching approach that emphasizes on the importance of real communication for learning to take place. So in adapting communicative approach, Jack C. Richard agreed that learners can develop communicative competence by achieving these goals. So firstly, learners able to know how to use language for different purposes and function, such as requesting, describing, expressing, and etc. Secondly, learners acknowledge how to use language according to setting and participant. For example, a learner should be able to choose a particular type of language and should know when, where, and with whom they should use the language with. For example, a student use the correct way when to use formal or informal speech with certain people. And last but not least, communicative approach goals is to motivate students for having communication or interaction with other people. Communicative approach increase the communicate ability of the learners in order to enable them to cope with their communicative needs in the target language. In this short clip, it is explained on how a teacher can adopt a communicative approach in the classroom. Next, we go into the principle of communicative approach. The communicative approach is based on the idea that learning a language successfully comes through having to communicate real meaning. It aims to help students become competent in communicating the target language. So, the first principle is there is emphasis on communication. The main objective is to enable students to use the language to express their needs. Next, the classroom atmosphere tends to be relaxed so that students can enjoy English lesson. Next, group work is encouraged. Teachers assist students in any way that motivates them. And then the center of classroom activities is transferred from the teachers to the student, and this leads to socialization. Next, the importance of comprehension is emphasized, especially listening comprehension. And then the language skills, both written and spoken, are equally emphasized. Errors are considered inevitable in the process of language learning. The teachers need not correct every mistake. The second last, a closer link is required between the classroom activities and their transfer to the real world outside. Last but not least, deductive explanation of grammar is preferred. Next, we will discuss about the limitation of communicative approach. Firstly, it focuses on fluency, not the accuracy. This approach does not focus on error reduction, but it creates a situation where learners are left using their own devices to solve their communication problems. Secondly, it's not possible to have a big number of competent teachers who can communicate as native speakers of the target language. Thirdly, students with low level of proficiency may get affected. This is because the weaker learners who struggle and cannot use the target language continue to make mistakes and eventually will give up.
Next, it's great for advanced learners, but for beginners, some controlled practice is needed. Lastly, the material used cannot be supported in a crowded class. Teachers should prepare the syllabus by taking students' interests and needs into account. However, the energy and time of teacher are limited.
We're going to the activities that can be done for communicative approach methodology. Typically, activities here is requires learners to role play and act in order for them to use the target language in different social situations, such as students create dialogues, storytelling, give information orally, debates, unrehearsed presentations, and poetry.